I don't know what it is, but something hit different about using Affirm at checkout.
I don't care how much money I have in my bank account. I'ma always choose that buy now, pay later option.
Oh, I had forgotten that I actually had an account open with Klarna and Affirm. Two of them, not just one of them. I had two of them. Come with me to pay off not one, not two, not three, but four. Pay in 4 installments.
Buy now, pay later is predatory. It takes advantage of people's poor spending habits and encourages them to spend money that they don't have, putting them into debt. If you don't know what a buy now, pay later plan is, it's a way for people to finance their purchases in installments, usually of 4. This has become super popular and super common over the last few years, with over 40% of US consumers on a buy now, pay later plan. And they're using it for things like rent, to furniture, to even clothes. Today, we're going to hear stories from people who are or have used buy now, pay later, see how harmful they can be, and even hear stories from people who are proud and happy to be in debt.
I don't care how much money I have in my bank account. I'ma always choose that buy now, pay later option. I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend $200 at one time. I want to spend $50 today. I spent another $50 in 2 weeks, and so on and so on. And I'll come out here saying, well, you got to pay all them extra fees. No, you don't. If you choose the option to pay in 4, it's interest free. But if you want to pay in 6 or 8, of course you're going to have to pay some fees, but it still ain't going to be that much. What's the extra $8? What's the extra $20? Like, you going to spend that on food. Might as well buy now, pay later that shit out. Now they making it so some of them will report to the credit bureau. So if you paying your bills on time, you good. The way things are going right now, time's too hard to not get what you want. You work hard for what you want in life. And I feel like if you want to go out here and get a pair of shoes, if you want to go out here and get your hair done, if you want to go get your nails done, whatever, buy now and pay it later. That's what it's here for.
I just don't understand the logic there. $8 might not be a lot in the grand scheme of things, but like she said, that could be a meal. So she would rather spend $8 for nothing, just in interest and fees, than get a meal. She'd rather that $8 go to a company that doesn't care about her, that wants her to go into debt, than have that money for something else that she might want, that she could spend that money on. And she's not even using it for like necessary spending. She's spending it on nails, hair, shoes, random stuff. She's the exact type of consumer these companies like Afterpay and Klarna are targeting. And to be encouraging other people to do the same is very dangerous. People are out here already unable to pay their bills. So we have comments like this where they paid off some of their Klarna loans and then immediately went and made 6 new purchases. And then another commenter, makes me feel better about paying off $1,600 worth of stuff and then adding more. I paid off 5 and got 10 more same day to reward myself for my hard work. What are people doing? Them congratulating me with confetti makes me never want to leave Affirm. Girl, I just paid off $4,000. Someone take this away from me. I'm at $8,000. Me paying off my Chris Brown tickets from the summer. I still have a year on my sleep token tickets. Haha. Some of these comments are insane. I understand. Some of these things you really, really want to do. But is that worth? Like, these aren't even necessities. Is this worth, like, going into debt over? And all these people celebrating finishing off their payments by creating more payments for themselves? I just don't understand. Like, you just escaped the debt cycle. You just paid it off. Why would you willingly put yourself back into that situation? And to see it as a celebration, I really just hope these people are paying everything off on time and not incurring the late fees and the interest.
I don't know what it is, but something hit different about using Affirm at checkout. Like no interest. I don't gotta pay for it right now. Somehow I'm like $5,000 in debt, but like it feel good.
How does anyone feel good about being in $5,000 worth of debt for unnecessary purchases. It's literally a trap. They sell you on these $100 sunglasses in 4 easy installments at $25 each for 0% interest. But then what happens? What happens if you forget a payment? You get a late fee, you have to pay interest, and this isn't even low interest. Some of these can go up to 36 or 40%, and you're paying it on the price of the whole item, not just that one installment that you missed. Don't spend money that you don't have. That should be what feels good.
Come with me to pay off not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Pay in 4 installments. Hi, my name is Lauren. I'm a first grade teacher. I gave myself 221 days to pay off $28,143.69 worth of credit card debt. I will say that majority of my debt is like the pay in 4 installments. Like, it gets me every time. I'm like, it's not that bad. Like, it's only $12 every 2 weeks. But listen, it's just as bad for me. Like, I have to stop, and I am stopping. But I get to pay off 4 of those today. Every payday is so great for me because I get to sit there and just be like, another one bites the dust, another one bites the dust. And it just really makes me feel so much better because all I can think about is that is extra money towards my debt. Like, I can just throw it towards my credit card debt instead of worrying about like paying off the 4. And sometimes I've been using that to pay off other pay in 4 plans. So it's just... it just makes me feel so much better. I can't be the only one. I need to know, are other people bamboozled or like, I don't know, like tempted by the pay in 4 plans? They just get me every time.
These payment plans make it so easy to spend because they make the payments feel so small. You get the dopamine of paying $12 on a $200 thing that you really, really, really want in this moment and wouldn't have been able to buy or pay for otherwise. It sounds good, it feels good, and I'm glad she knows now how harmful they can be, but that is literally how they got her in the first place. It's the $12 here, $10 here, $8 there. They're accumulating debt, spending money that they don't have right now and that they're not sure that they will have. There is some psychology behind why this feels so good and why it feels so easy.
I don't care if I sound like a broken record at this point. People need to understand that companies are spending billions and billions of dollars to make spending as frictionless as possible and to even make you feel good about going into debt while spending. If you think about how digital e-commerce has evolved, think about like one-click ordering, being able to store your payment information on a computer, being able to autofill all your information. The entire infrastructure of buying things has been engineered to remove every moment of hesitation before you buy, which I would argue is exploitive. The frontier of this today is buy now, pay later. And I know many people are aware of just the dangers of buy now, pay later, but I want to really emphasize just how ubiquitous these services are, how many people use them, and how dangerous it is for ourselves and also the broader economy. What happens when an entire generation of people and a huge portion of the population is legitimately in debt? Buy now, pay later usage is at record highs. Holiday spending last year, it was over $10 billion using buy now, pay later, which is a 9% increase from the year prior. 1 in 4 Gen Z and millennials say they use it as a regular financial tool, and late payments are on the rise for these services. And on top of that, these services are not talking to each other. So you can have multiple different loans over multiple different services, which makes it hard to track. It also makes it hard for you to understand your full debt picture. So I think a lot of people are not fully aware of how much debt that they are in if they are actively using these services. And because there's almost no friction when it comes to the process, so many people are opting into this without fully realizing what they're getting themselves into. And I think we're going to see this begin to really show up in the economy and in people's spending in the months and years to come.
It's so easy to spend money online or just to tap and pay. You don't even have time to really think about the purchase. Going to grab your wallet, taking the card out of your wallet. That's a delay from when you see the item that you want and from when you actually press the button to buy it. Now you can just click and then you're hundreds of dollars in debt. This encourages a buy mentality. $10 billion and 25% of Gen Zers and millennials on these plans is insane. It just shows how big and how popular this has become and how this form of debt and spending above your means is becoming so normalized.
Oh my gosh, I just finished my finances. I'm exhausted. So one thing I do want to share and I know we're all guilty of doing it, is using like those payment loan places like Affirm, Clarity Pay, Klarna. I think is it Zezel or something like that. There's like a whole bunch of them. There's like new ones every single day. Well, anyways, we're all guilty of using those apps to actually finance shit that we buy online. I'm guilty of it. So I had forgotten that I actually had an account open with Klarna and Affirm, two of them, not just one of them. I had two of them. I don't even remember what the F I bought, it's been a while. Well, apparently I forgot to pay it. And with everything going on, with the divorce and the expense of having an attorney and the finances and stretching out your dollar, trying to figure out what you're going to pay, what not you're going to pay. It's just been a total mess. But anyways, I forgot about them and I've been getting calls from them, like harassing calls. They will not stop calling. Anyways, I'm going through all my emails and I found a whole bunch of like notices like, you're late, you need to pay this, Affirm, and then Klarna, and then finally I got tired of it. And today I went and just paid it all off. I was going to pay something else, a big chunk towards another bill, but I thought, you know what, I just want to pay these two off and then use that money towards that bill, that one of the many bills I need to pay off. I'm just really trying to lower down my attorney fees, that way I can just hurry up and pay them off. But anyways, yeah. Feels good to finally pay that shit off. It's such a struggle shopping online. I've literally deleted all my apps just to prevent me from the temptation of shopping because I just can't afford it right now.
So this is one of the biggest problems with these buy now, pay later plans. You forget to pay because you have to remember all these micropayments every month. It's no longer just your rent, your credit card, your utilities, your insurance, but now you have Klarna, you have Affirm, you have Afterpay to keep in mind, to pay attention to. That just increases your chances of forgetting something. Not only that, when you have a bunch of stuff going on, stress from work, stress from a divorce, how are you going to remember to make all these payments? There's too much to keep in mind. They're gonna forget. It's another recurring monthly expense. So if you get laid off or you lose a source of income or have other things that you need to pay off right away, then you're still on the hook for these Klarna payments. And then they're stuck in a place where they have to decide what will they pay. And there's late fees and high interest. And at the end of it, they don't even remember what they purchased. Was it even worth the stress if they don't remember what they bought in the first place? This is just mindless spending at its finest.
You could never shame me for using buy now, pay later apps. And I mean never. A few times a year, folks get on here talking about, Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna, and all that stuff, and how buy now, pay later apps is causing so much problems, and they adding it to our credit reports. Let me tell you something. It's people out here on this app right now talking about they trying to pay out $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in credit card debt. The Americans as a whole owe over $1 trillion in credit card debt. Baby, you will never shame me because guess what? I pay it back. I'm paying it back. The Afterpay, the Klarna, the Affirm, I pay it back. While y'all out here toting around $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 in credit card debt, paying the bare minimum. So I seen somebody post their American Express. They had like $28,000 on there, and the minimum payment was like $28. Baby, you not gonna shame me for using Klarna and Afterpay when you got $28,000, when you owe American Express $28,000. Y'all cut it out. Y'all cut it out, because I'm gonna pay them little installments monthly, bi-weekly, whatever. Stop it. You ain't better than nobody, because your ass out here turning around all that credit card debt. Y'all worry about folks who using that Klarna, they Afterpay, child, but we ain't none of us gonna be able to own no house anyway in this economy.
She's not entirely wrong. If you're on a 0% interest plan, which is how they draw you in, and you know you can absolutely pay that off in time, and you're responsible with your money, then buy now, pay later, it could probably even benefit you. But you're not the target audience. The financially responsible people, the people who are good with their money, are not the people that these companies are preying on. They're not the people that these companies want as their consumers. They're trapping the ones who can't pay things off in time, who will go into debt because they don't have enough money or they're forgetful. We shouldn't be encouraging people to be in any type of bad consumer debt. Credit card or buy now, pay later. There are people in her comments saying that their credit card bills are just too high and they wouldn't be able to pay it anyway, so they would just rather do it in installments. Why don't we just not spend money that we don't have? or that we know we won't have. The idea here is the same. Don't spend so much on your credit card that you aren't able to pay it off. Don't spend money and put things on a buy now, pay later plan that you cannot afford at this time, or that you know you won't be able to pay off in your 4 installments. And I know it's not possible for everybody, and some people just don't make enough money. But there are some people like her, like the other TikToker, who are just using this for discretionary or fun spending. Like, we have people here doing it for Popeyes. Like, what are we doing? Or people doing it for flights and concert tickets. This is just discretionary spending. This is fun spending. It's not essential. This is irresponsible. Credit cards and these buy now, pay later plans are, in essence, very similar. It's debt. You're putting off paying for this thing until a later point in time. But we're going to see how they're worse.
Buy now, pay later are worse than credit cards. They suck you in by saying, oh, you get 0% interest and just 4 easy payments of like $5, $10, $15. And you're sold. You're like, this will be so easy. But then people end up buying more and more things, and it essentially becomes like 18 mini little credit cards where each one only has like $50 to $100 on it, but all of those add up, and then your bi-weekly payments end up getting higher and higher and higher, and that $7 that you started with ends up being $100, $200 every 2 weeks, and it's eating into your budget, and then you end up not being able to pay your bills, or you can't go out, or you don't know where all your money's going. If you miss a payment, you get charged all the interest and the late fees, and it just balloons and balloons. And there's so many stories coming out now that people are just as much in debt with buy now, pay later than they are in debt with credit cards.
These plans make it hard to know where your money is going. These installment plans are essentially mini credit cards, and it's multiple credit cards and payments that you have to pay attention to and that accumulate. So you can start off with a $10 payment plan and then end up with 20 different things, and now you're owing $200 a month. And what's worse is that if you don't pay it off within that installment plan time frame, you're gonna owe all the interest from the first month on, from day one on. These buy now, pay later plans can also affect your credit, even if you pay them off on time.
Buy now, pay later program almost just cost my buyer a house. I made that video in July of last year, and it was a video warning to the home buyers that buy now, pay later programs can mess up your mortgage, because that's what my buyer was going through. That video now has over 400,000 views, and it got picked up by the Mary Sue, which is a large news outlet. And then Klarna themselves responded and said that my information was, and I quote, not accurate and very misleading. So let's fact check them. Number one, Klarna told the Mary Sue that they do not share buy now, pay later payments with the U.S. credit bureaus. But Klarna started reporting this to TransUnion back in 2024. And this is a fact. It's not just me saying it. This is on Klarna's own website. They announced it themselves in September of 2024. They even say, and I quote, in the future, lenders may be able to see your payment performance on these loans. So they told the Mary Sue I was misleading, while their own press page confirms exactly what I said. Their long-term financing loans, they're reported, and if you miss payment of any Klarna product, including Pay in 4, they can end up in collections and on your report. Number two, even if Klarna's Pay in 4 doesn't show up on your traditional credit report yet, your mortgage lender is pulling your bank statements. They can see every single Klarna payment coming out of your account. And when your underwriter sees those multiple payments, they are factoring that into your debt to income ratio. Number three, as of last fall, FICO released 2 brand new credit scoring models that include these buy now, pay later data points for the first time ever. And this is not going to slow down. It's just ramping up. So my clients almost lost their home because of this. And that's not misleading. It's not inaccurate. It's what happened. So Klarna can send all the press statements they want. All publications can run without asking me anything, but I'm still going to keep telling the truth and keep telling my clients what to do. And if you're thinking about buying a house, if you're going through this process, just do not use these programs right now, because they will show up even if they're telling you that they won't.
This is such shady behavior from Klarna. They're trying to say that this information isn't true, even when it's on their website. So Klarna shares your buy now, pay later payments with credit bureaus. And even if you're paying these off on time, your mortgage lender will see your bank statements. So they'll also be able to see your Klarna payments. Ultimately, it's a form of debt and a high debt to income ratio, which is a way for lenders to measure your ability to manage your monthly payments, to repay the money that you've borrowed. So this just makes it harder for you to get approved because you're too risky. FICO also has new scoring methods and models that take these plans into account. So it is being factored into your credit. Then it can affect whether or not you can get an apartment, how much you're going to be paying in car insurance or home insurance. And now, like in this example, whether or not you can even get a house. Is that really worth buying the new iPhone?
I saw that they're starting to offer ways for you to basically Klarna your rent. We can't be Klarnaing our rent. It's so dystopian. Like, how did we get rent Klarna before we got affordable rent? It's psycho. We're living in a nightmare. We cannot be putting our rent on layaway. Then you're just perpetually in debt for the rest of your life. What are we doing? It's just sad and scary. Like, lower the rent. We don't need Klarna for landlords.
America is so broke now. They said, don't worry, you can pay your rent on layaway. Rent has jumped 28% in 5 years. So now the solution is not affordable housing. It's payment plans. Yeah, now you can rent now and pay later. Companies like Flex, Livable, and even Affirm, they stepping in like, don't worry, baby, we're going to slice that into installments for you. Because rent is taking a whole paycheck for most people. Not half, not a chunk, the whole paycheck. But I want to be clear, they're not doing this out of the kindness of their hearts. We're talking about a monthly subscription fee on top of charging them a percentage of their actual rent. So now you're paying extra money just to pay the money that you don't already have. That's like being charged a cover fee for your own house. And this isn't small. Over 40 million people in America rent. That's a whole economy built on you struggling, and they're going to monetize on it. Instead of fixing the issue, America said, nope, let's just put it on installments and keep moving. So I have to ask, are any of you using buy now, pay later for your rent? Have you had to? Or would you do it if it's the only way to survive? Because at some point, this stops being innovative and starts looking like desperation with a subscription fee. Enough is enough.
We are living in the darkest timeline. Affirm for rent? How can we have buy now, pay later for rent? That means that they know that people cannot make enough in one paycheck or in 1 month to cover their rent and to live. So we just gotta break it up somehow. Now, imagine people who fall behind on those payments. Rent is the highest expense for most people. Put a 40% interest on top of that. People are screwed and they will go further and further and further into debt. And the thing is, rent isn't even a luxury. This isn't like shoes. This isn't like concerts. It's straight up housing. It's shelter so people can sleep and live. They want people risking their housing. And on top of that, in order to make these rent payments through these plans, there's a monthly fee of about $35 to $50. This is just like those processing fees for utilities. You gotta spend money to pay money for things that you need. This makes rent and these buy now, pay later plans more unaffordable and more expensive.
Buy now, pay later should be illegal. BNPL. And I know some people will say it's just lending. It's like any other type of loan, except it's not. It's like the most predatory type of lending that has ever existed. Anytime you buy something now and you go to check out with your card, it will ask you online, it will say, do you want to break your payment up into 2 installments over 2 months? Do you want to break it up into 4 installments over 4 months for like a $20 item? In fact, the price doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter how much it costs. They will offer you month-to-month financing. And it's also dissimilar in the fact that, let's say you get a mortgage, for example. Anyone who's gotten a mortgage before knows when you sit down to get that mortgage, or even before getting your mortgage, there's all of these approvals that have to take place. There's all of this discovery that takes place to make sure that you can afford that mortgage. If you go get a credit card, there's an application process. But BNPL, they're like, hey, you want to break that leaf blower payment up into 4 installments? We got you. And let's be honest, there are only 2 types of people who will use BNPL. 1, people who truly do not know. People who don't even have an elementary grasp on finances. And 2, people that are desperate. And there's probably a third subset that is like people that are reckless and do not care, but it's mainly the first 2. And if your entire business is predicated on people that lack information or people that are desperate, That's not great. If you want to buy a $20 item today, you should not be able to finance that. You should have to wait until tomorrow when you work and make $20. Shut it down.
So these companies don't even care if you can't afford the item, pay them back. They're not even going to vet you because that's their game plan. They want people who cannot pay on time because that's where they're making their money. These late fees, these high interest rates from people who have no idea about where their money is going. Those who are just like, YOLO, none of this matters. I can't really pay for anything anyway, so I might as well just spend, and get into more debt. These companies don't care. They don't have your best interests at heart. They don't care what your financial situation is. As long as they can lock you into a payment plan and you don't pay things off, that's great. Perfect for them. You're sucked into the debt cycle. Have you used buy now, pay later for rent or for any other items? Are you usually able to pay it off? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like these discussions on personal finance topics, hit the like button and subscribe.